Alright, so I got this one, Best of the Best. I've seen this movie a few times. I saw it again recently, not too long ago. But I've actually seen Best of the Best 2 a lot more. It's more of it's what you would call classical action movie, where it was like uh, uh, they say 80s action movie. I guess mid to late 80s and early 90s. Um, Action movies were very good. It was a very good time for action movies um, during that period. But this one is was set in 19. I mean, it was filmed in 1989, and has Eric Roberts on the front. It's a Taekwondo film. But one second, let me pause this and come back. All right, I'm out. So has Eric Roberts on the front, but this is Best of the Best 2, right here. And this guy right here, Philip Ree, and his name in the movie is Tommy Lee. And he's like one of the real main characters, main stars of this movie. Eric Roberts has a lot of it, but Philip Ree is more the main attraction in this film. Eric Roberts is a lot more of an actor, and Philip Ree is more like the real martial artist in this film. But Eric Roberts is a talented actor, and I actually did the review on Best of the Best 2 earlier. Um, and Eric Roberts is actually Julia Roberts' brother. Interesting fact right there. Um, but yeah, it was filmed in 1989, and so we're in 2019 now, so that's 89, 99. Hard to do the math right quick. I guess it's hard to believe time runs away from me. 30 years. Um, yeah, I'm 33 now. It's just hard to think of it like that. But yeah, this movie's 30 years old now. So the world was like a different place back then. A lot more mystery. The internet really did a lot of things to bring things out. So many videos and information on things that you want to know about. But there's still stuff hidden from the internet as well. But but uh, so Taekwondo is the main thing, and Taekwondo has gotten much more popular since this movie. But first it was like judo was really popular, and then karate came out, and then Taekwondo really took over in popularity. But this movie is about the American team versus the South Korean team in Taekwondo. So the Americans are, um, except for Tommy Lee, they're all, I'm looking at, they're all Caucasians in this movie. So the American team's all Caucasians except for Tommy Lee, the main character, and the South Korean team is from South Korea. So um, they fight each other in this tournament, championship world tournament. Sorry if I don't know all the details. All the details. The last time I watched it was like maybe like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. But I've seen it a few times, and it's still pretty fresh. And what's important on there is still up here. I don't know all the minute details while going over this. Um, but one of the big things is uh, I was talking about like the mystery of the world and everything back then with before the internet and everything, and then Korea is so mysterious in a lot of ways. Um, Japan has become very popular and everything since World War II, Japan and China, but Korea is still a little bit more hidden. It's become a lot more popular lately. Korean culture, Korean figures and actors and things like that. But but it was like pretty mysterious and alluring. This film because it really brings Taekwondo out into kind of like a new light. It kind of really shows um, the character of it. A lot of, I guess we would say, like the soul of it in this movie, because it shows because the Americans are training to face the Koreans, and so they're watching like video clips of the Koreans and everything, and they're doing all this incredible stuff, like they're training in the snow and hitting trees and breaking boards and bricks and stuff like that, and it's really impressive and terrifying. So the Americans have to face them. So that's one of the um, big, big elements, big takeaways, and I guess you can see it. James Earl Jones, the James Earl Jones is in this. He's quite a James Earl Jones takes on the film, and it's got to be pretty good. Like he was in The Lion King. He was Darth Vader in Star Wars, and a bunch of other movies too. But he has that real iconic voice and motivational type, um, motivational voice and attitude, and stuff like that. And in this movie, he plays like a really hard, tough coach. He's like really hard on the athletes, but he really cares about them and wants them to do well. And you can see that. You can read like body language and facial expressions and things like that. And so he's like hard on them like the whole movie. But then when like good things happen in the tournament and they're doing well, like you can tell he's cheering for them and hoping they do well. He does a pretty good acting job in this movie. But the main character is Philip Ray. He is very good at Taekwondo, and I think he's actually even a little better in Best of the Best too. Like he gets in even better shape. But so this is in 1989. So it also has that standard Rocky Four blueprint where it was like his brother, just like Kickboxer. Um, or Philip Ray, he had or his name is Tommy Lee in the movie. He had a much older brother who fought in the Taekwondo tournament and was killed. I'm sorry, I'm laughing about it, but was killed by the bad guy, Dae Han. I was laughing because I was just thinking about Dae Han. Um, and Dae Han's a real nasty, mean bad guy, and he's also wearing an eye patch. And that's what I'm laughing about. A lot of bad guys and stuff. Classical bad guys seem to always be missing an eye. There seems to be something to that. But Jaehan's wearing an eye patch. That's how you can tell he's a bad guy. But yeah, he's real mean, real nasty. And Philip Reed has to, or Tommy Lee has to fight him in the tournament at the end of the movie. That's how it's set up. He's the best guy on the team, and Dae Han's the best guy on the team. So they match on the other team. So they match them up against each other. And in the end, that's a valuable lesson. I guess in forgiveness and mercy and things like that. I guess there's always a time for mercy. I can actually be pretty cold and merciless at times when you need to. There's a lot of times that need to be cold and merciless if the person deserves it, like I don't know, like people on death row and things like that. But there's also something to being able to have forgiveness and mercy on people who can benefit from it and can turn themselves around and everything like that. But yeah, at the end, Tommy has him on the ropes, and Dae Han is just standing there like that. And so Tommy chooses not to hit him, but when he does that, he loses the tournament. Because he needed that point to win the tournament. But if he felt like they hit him, he would have killed him or something like that. I guess he could have went up and tapped him. But I guess a lot of movies don't. You can find like plot holes and stuff like that, but um, stories work out for the movie to tell a particular story. So they also have a pretty interesting bar fight in it as well. Bar brawl, but uh, that's about all I have to say about that. I could talk about it a little bit more details and stuff like that, but that covers it pretty well. It's a very interesting movie and one worth watching.